When I first noticed my very first spot, I didn't really panic. I honestly brushed it off. I told myself it's probably irritation, who knows, a rash. I might have slept wrong on it, who knows. It'll go away, but it definitely didn't. And as the days passed, and then weeks, and even years, I started to see small shifts happening on my skin. It was subtle at first, tiny changes I noticed, but inside I could feel something deeper happening. I remember standing in the mirror one morning, examining that little spot, and it just wasn't leaving. And I'm thinking, okay, something is definitely wrong here. Something is happening, but I don't know what it is. I don't understand it. And that feeling right there, that quiet fear, you don't want to admit to anybody, but yeah, that's where my journey truly began. And at that time in my life, I was carrying a lot. I had gone through back to back pregnancies. My body was tired. My mind was tired. My life had shifted so quickly, and I never really paused long enough to catch up with myself. I was putting everybody else first, and I was just like, go, go, go. I was living on stress and survival, and I was just telling myself I was fine, I'll rest later. But while silently, I was breaking down in ways I didn't realize. Hey, by the way, I'm Zendrea. I created Vitiligo Defied to document everything I learned along the way, what worked for me, what didn't work, and the deeper patterns that I noticed that I really didn't understand when I first started this journey, when I was searching and searching and searching in the dark, not knowing what I was doing. And my hope is that no one else has to guess and experiment the way I did. So, looking back now, I can see how disconnected I'd become from my own body. I wasn't really listening. I wasn't slowing down. I was just grind, grind, get it done. I was moving on autopilot, hoping that the symptoms would disappear if I ignored them long enough, right? They'll go away. But the thing about the body, it's so fascinating. When it needs your attention, it's trying to get your attention like, hello, it will find a way to speak to you. And when you don't hear those whispers, it gets louder. And for me, that louder moment came through my skin. And there were days I stared at myself and felt a mix of confusion, frustration, fear, and honestly, grief. Not necessarily grief about how I looked, more so grief about feeling disconnected from the person in the mirror. I searched online for answers, I read things that gave me hope, and things that terrified me, to be quite honest. And that emotional roller coaster can be exhausting. It definitely was for me. And when you're going through that alone, it's just really, it sucks. And for a long time, I kept everything inside. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want the sympathy. I didn't want the questions. Not even my family. I didn't want to talk to them about it. I didn't want to feel defined by something I didn't even understand myself yet. But eventually, I reached a point where I couldn't keep pretending. I couldn't keep hoping it would just fade away because it hadn't. It wasn't. It had been years. And I needed to understand why this was happening, not just which cream or topical to try next. So I started paying attention and really paying attention to my body, my stress, my habits, possible deficiencies I may have developed during my pregnancies and after my pregnancies, my environment, and the emotional load I had been carrying for years. And slowly, things kind of started clicking. It started connecting. I realized that my vitiligo wasn't random. It didn't just appear out of nowhere. It was definitely tied to my internal environment, my stress levels, my nutrient stores, my lifestyle, my healing after childbirth, and years of pushing myself without rest because I am definitely that type, like, go, go, get it done. So once all that clicked, my entire approach changed. Instead of reacting to symptoms, I started supporting the root and trying to understand what's causing this. And instead of panicking, I created a plan. Instead of feeling powerless, I began to feel grounded. And don't get me wrong, this wasn't fast or instant. And there definitely was days I wondered if anything was working at all. But gradually, I saw shifts. Small freckles of pigment, soft patches of color returning. My skin was responding, finally. My body finally was feeling supported instead of overwhelmed. And the most healing part wasn't the physical change necessarily, it was the emotional shift. For the first time in a long time, I felt like I wasn't fighting against my body, but I was finally working with my body and learning and listening. And that feeling, that clarity and peace is what inspired me to create Vitiligo Defied. Not because I have all the answers, definitely not, but because I know what it feels like to search for answers alone and try things out and continue to feel lost, confused, and feel like you're trying everything, but nothing is sticking. Nothing is working consistently. And inside Vitiligo Defied, I share the full framework that helped me turn things around and begin to repigment. I share the philosophy, the structure, the order, the patterns, and the internal understanding that changed my entire approach naturally, which is amazing. It's not a miracle cure by any means, it's not a quick fix, it's a roadmap, and it's built from my personal experience and personal research and learning how to listen to my body again. And more than anything, it's also a community, a place where you don't have to navigate things alone. It's a place where we can understand both the emotional side of vitiligo and the physical side. It's for people who experience the fear, the hope, the frustration, this roller coaster, the slow progress, and the breakthroughs. So if you're watching this and you're feeling stuck or overwhelmed or lost, or if you're just ready for clarity, I get it. You're not alone and you don't have to keep guessing through this. So the link is below if you're ready to take that next step, whether you're just starting out or whether you've been trying things and searching for a long time. You deserve clarity and you deserve support. And follow me along on this journey. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.